Hey guys, DrKobra here. This is game 5 from my group play in the Majors 1v1 tournament for Karma StarCraft. Sorry, but that's hard to say for some reason for me. Anyways, yeah, like I said, this is game 5. I'm 4-0 to this point. This game is going to be against Knight on Jungle Basin. So plan for this map, and I think this should be the plan pretty much for every Protoss and Terran when you're playing a Zerg, is you want to get a fast expansion, just because you can hold, this is the only ramp into your two bases, and you got these destructible rocks. So this is easy to hold a fast expansion. And you can two-base pretty hard for a while. But your main goal is to not let your Zerg opponent get a third. If you never allow your Zerg opponent to get a third and you just go two-base versus two-base, you should be able to win just because Zerg units are not as cost-efficient. So yeah, that's pretty much my plan. I'm going to once again Forge expand. Just because, you know, I'm starting to like that style, and this map is just extremely good for it. Some people even go for Nexus first on this map, or on a lot of maps, but I didn't feel like I wanted to go Nexus first in case he was trying some sort of really fast speedling play or a baneling bust. I don't know, just to me, a lot of Zergs don't like to play macro games on this map because it is such a hard map for Zerg to play a macro game on and win. So I thought just in case he was going to go for some sort of early rush strategy, I was going to go Forge first. And the other reason is in case he went Hatchery first, I can do this. Same deal as last game, or last time on Metalopolis, except this map, it's much harder to do a wall in back here to keep your cannon protected. Like you can get through here. You can do it, but it takes like, you know, a bajillion pylons. So I was just going to go ahead and put a cannon right here and try to force the cancel that way since he went hatch first. And notice back home I'm going to wall off mostly. I think there's a little spot you can get through right there. Yep. And putting down the gateway. There goes the cannon. He still hasn't seen it. Oh, he just now spots it. Let's see what his response is. And he cancels the hatch. So I go ahead and cancel the cannon and get back those minerals. And I'm going to go scout and just see what he's doing in his base. Back home, I actually went for a complete wall off with the cannon here. And once again, I'm going to do the same strategy as last time where I rush up to Void Ray to try to hold off any early sort of roach play he tries. I've wised up a little bit, so I think my Void Ray will be out a little bit earlier than last time, but still maybe a little bit later than it could be. So I'm going for Fast Nexus, but if you notice, it's not even out yet, so it's not like a super fast Nexus. But I know I made him cancel this hatch, so I'm okay with not having the Nexus out right yet. So now I'm going to go down here and put the Nexus. And I've got my Nexus up before he's got his hatch, and I know that, so I'm feeling pretty confident. I think this is a good start. I saw him get these two spines up. I'm not entirely sure why he did that. I guess maybe he was scared of like a warp gate follow-up or me try to cannon push all the way up into his base or something. So, not sure. Gonna take out my pylon, gonna take out my probe. But that's okay, I've got my Nexus up, and he does not have his hatch up yet. And I have a pretty sizable harvester lead, which is what I'm going for. Got the Stargate coming. Yep, nothing in particular happens very soon. So go for the warp gate. And I put a pylon over here, spot the back rocks in case he tries something over there. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. He does send Zerglings back here, so I put up two cannons which is a little bit of an overreaction because I forgot I had the Stalker out. So I'll bring the Stalker over and cancel one of the cannons because I don't need two. But I'm going to leave one just in case he tries to keep harassing the back. So I'm pretty much going for the same strategy as last time, that I'm going to get a couple voids out. I'm going to go up to a bunch of gateways and then go for a Colossus for the kill move with the kill ball. So they're trying to harass the front, but no way he's going to get up through there. Check the probes. I'm up by 14, so that's quite a bit. Yep. Going for hallucination. I'm not really sure why, actually. I probably should not have got hallucination since I was getting a real Phoenix to scout. So not really sure why I did that. I'm going to start powering up my gates. I'm going to send out these Void Rays for a little bit of map control. And I actually saw this Overseer down here in a second, so I'm going to come down and kill him. Yep. Bye-bye, Overseer. So Lazy Probe, go to work. Warp in some gigantic structures. So I'm going to be up on 6 gates, and I'm getting the robot out so I can start teching towards the Colossus. Kind of floating some gas right now, but that's okay. Alright, at this point, I wanted to go for double forge upgrades just because, I don't know, I probably can't support it off 2 base, but it just kind of hit me that I wanted to do it. And I scouted with my something, didn't I? Hold on. No. Okay, so I was going to go for mass blink stalkers. Try to harass him with that. And use the blink to escape if I kind of overextend myself, and then, wait till I have the Colossus. So with this Void Rays, what I'm doing is just going around the map, making sure he's not trying a quick third base, because that would be one pretty good way for him to get back in the game if he does something like that. And I don't know if you pay enough attention to the mini-map, but I actually misclick these guys like multiple times and send them back to my base. That's just a mistake. Didn't mean to do that. I kind of meant to have them running around the whole time. But, you live and you learn. So getting the Twilight Council for Blink. I thought, I don't know, if I remembered correctly, I scouted this fire before I went for Blink. Turns out I didn't. I just wanted Blink anyways. But, of course, it's a really good idea once I find the mutas out. So starting to build up some Stalkers, power out units, because I see he has mutas. And I supply block myself because I am a nub. But it happens, I guess. So check the Harvesters. I'm up by like 24, so I'm at a really good position at this point. Void Ray's still scouting for expansions. Trying to get an Observer out, wasting a Chrono Boost on it. I end up being able to get these upgrades, and it's mostly because I supply blocked myself and couldn't build out of my warp gate, so I had some extra money. So I wouldn't suggest that, but it ended up working out for me. So he overreacted a little bit to the Void Rays. I think he thought I was going to cannon off and go mass Void Rays, which I wasn't going to do. Puts down a lot of spores. Gets out a couple extra queens. There goes my Observer. And now I'm pretty much at this point just powering as many Stalkers out as I can. Chrono boosting out Blink and +1/+1. Check the army tab. I'm up a pretty good bit. That's mostly because I got my Nexus before he got his hatchery. Just got the better economy, so I'm going to be able to outproduce him. Kill off that cannon because it's not going to really help all that much anymore. And so I'm ready to go out and harass him. I do make a mistake of getting my Void Rays caught out in the middle. Yeah, they end up dying, but it's okay, I guess. Not huge loss in this game. So I've got the robotics bay out, and I want to go make sure he's not getting up a third, and then I'm going to start Colossus production while I get up my third. At least I think I'm going to go harass him. There we go. Stalkers forgetting they have blink and walking out single file. And the Stalker conga line. Terrible pathing, splitting up for no reason. And at home, I'm a little bit oversaturated, I think. I mean, I'm trying to take a third soon. I'm not quite ready. Anyways, I had the observer up here, so I saw what army he had. And I didn't think it was all that much, so I thought I could just come up here and kill it. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. So I blink up, and once again, I have a bigger army. So I blink up, and I'm just going to try to make sure all my stalkers are shooting at the same time. And he reinforces with quite a bit, and those two spine crawlers actually do a ton of damage. And I kind of get to the point where I think, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. So I'm going to retreat. I should have fought with those guys just because they were doomed to death. So I come back home, warp in a bunch of stalkers. My first Colossus is done. And I feel like it's a good time to turn around and face his army at that point. Mutas are really good harassment units, and they are awful in full-on engagements. So here comes the Colossus, gonna do a number on these roaches with all this stalker support. I've got Thermal Lance on the way. +1/+1 is done. I start +2/+2 before too long. So now I'm kind of out in the middle of the map because I still have this guy over his army, and I don't want to take that on yet. I really don't know how that guy got up there. He was just a misclick. So I don't want to take that on yet, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't taken a third at this point. And I'm on 2 base, and I'm building only Stalkers and Colossus and doing research. So the stuff I'm doing is really gas heavy, and I build up a ton of minerals. So what do? Instead of adding in a bunch of zealots, I could have added some gates and added some zealots, but his composition was roach, muta, and zealots. Just are awful against that. And yeah, they would have buffered some shots, but I felt better going just straight Stalker Colossus. So instead, I spent all my extra money on just throwing down 1, 2, 3 Nexus. That's for a couple reasons. One is I'm about to need a third, like really badly. I'm a little bit late on the third timing probably. And the other two, if I need a 4th and 5th, they'll be there. And that way he can't sneak an expansion on me somewhere, because he's much more mobile than me at this point. And he's done a good job. I overextended myself a little bit with my attack, especially when I blinked up. Probably should have just stayed outside. So he's caught up in supply a little bit. But I'm still not too scared. So I'm going to keep warping in and building Colossus. And my minerals get high, but my gas stays pretty low. So that's about all I can say. Muta's coming down here to harass. I see it fairly quickly. Able to evacuate the probes. Lose some, but I'm up so much in harvesters that it doesn't really matter. Warped in some stalkers down here, bringing my rest from the middle of the map. Gonna blink in here, pick off a couple, maybe just 1 muta. So now my plan is just keep building units as fast as I can. See, my gas is too low. Oh, you know what? Wow, I feel dumb. I just remembered I had this first forge, so I didn't need to build 2 more forges. Y'all are probably already thinking how stupid I am, but, oh well. Doesn't matter. So yeah, pretty much going for Stalker Colossus Death Ball the rest of the game. Get back to work. Yeah, there you go. Going Stalker Colossus Death Ball, keeping him on 2 bases. And I'm going to starve him out and kill him eventually that way. I put down a bunch of cannons down here because I had the extra minerals to help protect against mutas. And I was going to over here. I even put the pylons down, but then I forgot to put the cannons, so that's whatever. So I see he's attacking down here. That's quite a bit of supply worth of mutas, so I figure, hey, why not attack towards him? See what damage I can do. And he does a mistake, I think. Well, maybe not a mistake. Yet. He runs up his ramp. I have no idea what these queens were doing out here. His mutas kind of get stuck. So brings in his mutas that were over here. From the side. Tries to target my Colossus. My Colossus trying to be a hero. Say, no, don't be a hero. Trying to micro him back. Miss micro a little bit. He does go down. He's doing a good job with his mutas of trying to focus fire the Colossus. And even with the roaches now, I back him up. Almost dead, 4 HP, and he's going to come in and focus him down. So I did focus down both my Colossus, but I'm okay with that at this point because he has, he lost a lot of supply doing it. Those mutas, they took out one Colossus and damaged the other, but just so many of them died from these stalkers. And the same with the roaches when they were focusing the Colossus. I tried to micro and keep him alive, but sometimes doesn't work. So basically mined out the main. So I moved all those probes up here. Moved some of them over here. I haven't moved any over there yet. I'm about to get gases up over here. I haven't yet. But gas is still what I'm short on. At this point, I probably should add a couple more gates and add zealots just because I have so much extra. So, move up the ramp. Move up the ramp. So now I'm going to move up the ramp. Pick off some of these overlords. And all of a sudden I see a bunch of Hydras. And Hydras just do really well against Stalkers without Colossus support. So I'm going to retreat. I blink, just run from the Hydras. I have Colossus out. Yeah, there's one out. And there's more coming. I've been trying to chrono boost these constantly. I think I've been doing a pretty good job. Adding on some more gateways so I can finally add some zealots maybe. Finally got these gases up. Should be sending guys into them soon yet. So let's see what he sees. He knows I have this Nexus. He doesn't even... Oh, he does know about that one. He doesn't know about this one. So he feels behind, and he feels like the only way he's going to be able to come back is take out some of my Nexus. And that's true, but what he needs to do is be able to take out my Nexus and then not lose his army. So let's see what happens. I see him go for this Nexus, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun. So when I come over and respond, he's able to snipe it off and kill all the probes over here. There wasn't that many, and I had a ton anyways. So now his army's trapped, and this Colossus is going to do some nasty damage to these Hydras. He tried to expand, but obviously that wasn't going to work. So 6 kills already. And what he does with his army is backs it completely into a corner. I have no idea what he was thinking. Maybe he thought his rocks were destroyed and he can go back into his base, but they weren't. And as you can see here, why did all these guys start retreating? I clicked over here. clicked over here just to move this way, and the rocks were still there, so my guys turn around, try to go the long way. I'm like, oh, his army must be trapped then. I'm just going to kill him. So he's got Corruptors out to counter the Colossus, but at this point I just have too much. Too many Stalkers. No he's going to be able to counter that. So now I have a huge army lead, I have a huge harvester lead, I have a huge base lead, I have a huge production lead, and the game is basically over. I just have to come in here and kill them off. So anyways, what there is to be learned from this game mostly, I think, is this map, really. On this map, you go, if you can 2-base, and a Zerg is 2-basing, and don't ever let him get up a third, and you're probably going to win. Yeah, that's all I got. Yep. Anyways, on to game 6, I think. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this was game 5. On to game 6.